So let's move on to problem number 14 on YDSC, and this one is based on optical path, which we have just done before this. So this is typical YDSC setup, two slits S1 and S2, and we know central bright fringe will form on a point which is lies on the perpendicular bisector of the slit. Now we make some change here. Now if a thin glass plate is placed normally in the path of the beam coming from one of the slits here. What we do, you place a small sheet of glass, thickness is T, refractive index is mu. Now, whichever rays are reaching the same point where earlier the central bright fringe was forming, the rays reaching has to pass through glass sheet also, whereas rays coming from S2 doesn't have to pass through the glass sheet. Glass sheet is placed in the path of only one of the slits here. And though still even now also they have to travel the same distance here, but part of the distance here is on the rural highway. So this distance is this okay. Effectively, optical path from S1 to O is not same as optical from S2 to O. Hence, when they reach here, they will not be in the same phase, though they were at the same phase at S1 and S2. So this it will not remain here. Central bright fringe will shift. So what we need to find? We need to find the new position of central bright fringe. So even before we do so, among the two paths here, which path will be longer? S1 path will be longer. So this path has become longer. So it has to shift to shorten this path, shorten the path coming from S1. So it will get shortened only if the central bright fringe shifts in the upward direction. The shift will always be on the side where glass sheet is placed. Let's do that also. So let's and let's see the P is the point which has angular position is theta, where central bright fringe shifts, or you can say y coordinate also. So let's the P is the new position of central bright fringe, and if it is central bright fringe, it has to satisfy certain condition. What condition it has to satisfy? Earlier we used to talk of path difference. We say yes, path difference. We understand when we talk of path difference must be zero. We are talking of optical path difference must be zero. So we'll calculate optical path from S1 to P. S1 to P has two parts here. Part S1 to P has S1P minus T is in the air, and T length is in glass. So this optical path becomes equal to S1P plus basically I'm taking the S1P and this T I'm shifting here. So this becomes T into mu minus 1. So that is the optical path, and we have seen earlier also, because of the introduction of this sheet here, the optical path length has increased by how much? Thickness of the sheet, refractive index of the sheet, minus the refractive index of the surrounding medium, which is air in this case. And what is the optical path from the second slit here? S2P. This is the optical path. Physical path and optical path are same because it is in vacuum. Now we are interested in path difference must be zero. Let's write the equation. What is the path difference? Since it is zero, we can subtract any one from the other one. So from here we subtract the second path. So this is path we write, and what we do, we keep this side, this on one side, and if we take other two on the other side, it becomes equal to T into mu minus 1 has to be equal to S2P minus S1P. And this is physical length, S2P minus S1P. And this term we know already. S2P minus S1P is nothing but physical path difference at a point having angular position theta. And if the theta is small, we know path difference equal to, this term has to be equal to d sine theta. So that's what we'll substitute here, very simple. So what we find here is that T into mu minus 1 is equal to d sine theta. And if y is small, it could have always also be written as dy by capital D. So what we notice here, so if I look at what is this term is extra path length because of the sheet of glass or whatever sheet is placed here. So this extra path length because of sheet of glass becomes equal to decrease in path length due to angular position. So physical path length has to be shortened by a distance equivalent to increase in optical path length. Increase in optical path length is offset by decrease in physical path length. This is nothing but decrease in optical path, decrease in physical path length. Okay. So shift to the side of glass plate to point where physical path length is shorter by how much? Physical path length has to be shorter by this much. To offset, and this has to be equal to extra optical path length due to glass sheet. They have to offset each other. And that's the condition, and very easily we can arrive at. And once we have this one, we can find the value of theta. And if value is y is small, we can find the value of y as well. Okay. And one more point we can notice here, if what happens rather than placing the sheet here, if we had placed the sheet here also, it produces same change in path length. Or we can keep the sheet very close to the slit, and we can keep it some distance also. Does it matter? See, this distance between slit and the sheet here is immaterial only as long as ray from slit S1 passes through the slab of the glass before it reaches the screen, its position is irrelevant. So that is a shift in position of central bright fringe.